I am Marsalis Basey, and this is Against All Odds.
One of the best athletes to ever come out of the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia and all. We have Coach Marsalis Basey here. Coach, appreciate you for coming. You're a multiple sport athlete. You're a mentor to a lot of people. And you're now coaching at Martinsburg High School. Can you talk a little bit about where sports started for you and what sport did you start with? Was it basketball, football, baseball? How'd you
I started with all the sports, just playing with my pops, kids in the neighborhood. Leland, my grandparents lived at Leland. That was, they have a basketball court down there, and it's, grown men always started playing about 6 o'clock every evening. And that's where I caught on to it, at an early age, probably 3 or 4 years old. So just running around with the ball.
Just an early competitor.
Early competitive. Yep. Spirit in me. Yep. Whether it was football, basketball, baseball, Dad had me doing everything.
Was there one of those sports, was there one that you were more dedicated to or had like more of a love for, or did you just play a little bit of everything?
No, we put, during the summer down at Leland, we had older guys, teenagers. We would go to Oatsdale Park in the morning, start off playing baseball. We'd walk back to Leland. We'd end up playing football. They drawing plays up in the dirt, putting shoulder pads on us, and we putting T-shirts on and helmets.
It's like an all-day thing.
All-day thing.
Wow. And
then once the evening came, like I told you, 6 o'clock, grown men are out there playing ball, and it was 2 courts. We'd either playing wiffle ball on the smaller court, and the older guys were playing basketball on the other court. And, like I said, baseball in the morning, and then basketball in the evening, but it would be a split between basketball and wiffle ball in the evening. Because the grown men, being young, you got to kind of jump through the hoops to get on that basketball court.
For sure.
A young fella gone, grown men playing right now. So, I kind of figured it out early, have a good ball all the time, because they always had a raggedy ball.
I think that makes the best players growing up, though, the ones who, like you said, the grown men say, go on or whatever, but you stick around, you know what I mean? Yep. And you could probably, if they need one, you can get on with them and get up and down with them. Yep. So a little bit about high school. So you were busy from the fall, winter, spring.
All year round.
All year round.
I can remember during baseball season, like this time of year right now, the weather's starting to break. We having some baseball games. Heck, we go to Allegheny, it's snowing during the baseball game. We get back and we have practice, during the week, and the weather starts to break. I would leave practice and I'd still have my baseball stuff on. I kick my spikes off and throw my gym shoes on and start playing pickup at Martin Luther King Park.
Wow.
Against grown men, and the Matt Bullets, the Robert Taylors. You're playing against grown men that are 25, 26 years old, and you're 15. It's going to do nothing but make you better. We didn't have AAU, so that was our AAU, playing against grown men.
So you're most known in the community for what you've done on the basketball court. Can you talk a little about your freshman to senior year? Were you a 4-year varsity player?
No, I wasn't. I could have been. Coach Rogers came to me at the end of my freshman year. I had a good JV campaign my freshman year, and Curtis Ferguson was our only guard, and he asked me if I wanted to come up to be a backup guard. And I went to a couple workouts and practiced with him maybe about 3 or 4 times, and baseball season was just getting ready to start, and I was pegged to be a second baseman for the baseball team on varsity. So I decided to go play baseball, and I didn't go to actually they didn't make it to Charleston. Derek Hester hit that buzzer beater off the glass out at Hedgesville against him, and nobody knew whether the shot was good or not, and the referees had to come back out and go, and ran up out of there.
It's crazy.
But yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Derek Hester, man. So your sophomore year is when you really got going on the basketball court.
Yes, it was. And we struggled. We struggled just like these sophomores did this year, but we didn't struggle as long. We struggled probably the first 4 or 5 games, and then we hit a roll. And we got things going, and we ended up knocking Jefferson off in the sectional championship, and ended up going to Charleston and losing to the Pony Express in overtime.
Wow.
in the championship game.
Championship game.
Yep.
Wow. So you guys
Sophomore
made it
year.
all the way there.
Yep.
And then was it your junior year, senior year? Did you guys get back to it?
Junior year, PG Green came upon the scene, and we got beat in the first round. We were number 1. They came to our Christmas tournament. We beat them in our Christmas tournament. Then we went to Charleston, and we were matched up with them in the first round, 1 versus 2, because it was predetermined back then. It wasn't seedings. And they knocked us off.
Wow.
We were out early our junior year, and they went on to win the championship.
Wow. And I think, sometimes when you do get to a certain spot the year before, it oftentimes gets overlooked that you're not promised to get back to, where you were
that
at.
Championship stage, and when you go to Charleston, especially when you're young, man, hey, it kind of drives you to keep working to get back.
For sure.
Because you want that stage. And it is a stage, because what kids don't understand, when you go to Charleston, you step up onto the floor. Yeah, it's a difference. You step up onto the floor. And then you got that big open arena. When I was sitting at home at a young age listening to Robert Taylor and them play in Charleston, I was imagining a high school gym. I wasn't expecting this big arena. But when you get there and you see the big arena, man, it makes you want to go back.
So did you guys ever end up winning a state championship?
No, we did not. My senior year, we made it back to the state championship. We lost by 6 to Woodrow Wilson. Luckily, Woodrow Wilson.
Wow.
Yep.
Good.
I think we had a 5-point lead at the half and kind of dwindled away, and they ended up knocking us off by about 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless, you had a great high school career. Can you talk a little bit about your recruitment process for college basketball?
Yeah, well, it started off, I'll tell you, with, a lot of mid-majors were coming and making offers and things like that. This is a Gettysburg Invitational that I went to, which was BC All-Stars was called back then. And I'm gonna tell you, every college coach in America was there, to be honest with you. And it just started my recruiting process. Mid-majors were coming. Actually, one who really came on hard, John Calipari.
From Kentucky.
From Kentucky, but he was at UMass at the time. And he was a young coach, and he really liked me. I mean, he would come up to Baltimore, his Baltimore recruiting grounds, the Mellows, he probably recruited all them guys down there. Dante Bright was one he was after. But he would leave Baltimore and come up to Winchester and watch me in the summer league.
Wow.
And then Coach went to the airport one time. The first time he came up, Coach Rogers went to the airport to pick him up and bring him into the high school to meet with me.
Really?
And Calipari even come as far as when I was playing minor league baseball, came to UMass. I was in UMass playing, I was in the New York Penn League playing, and he came down 2 hours, him, Bruiser Flint, come down 2 hours just to watch me play minor league baseball, and I'm playing at West Virginia now.
Really? Wow.
He was still trying to recruit me when I was at West Virginia. Hey, man, they put the ball in his hands. I put the ball in your hands right now. You can transfer right now, put it in your hands. Good guy, great guy, great recruiter as well.
And that's an honor, just from what he's done at, Kentucky. He has NBA
he's done it
talents,
everywhere he's went.
And so to think that he thought so highly of you, and he sees NBA guys every day, you know what I mean, is an honor.
Yes, it is an honor.
To the work that you put in. So you talked about the minor league baseball. So how does that work? You went to college and then you were able to play minor league baseball and play college basketball?
I was able to do both because, baseball is mostly in the summertime. So they would put me in a short season with the minor league baseball, rookie league baseball. I would leave school in March, head down to extended spring training. I didn't get a full spring training. I would extended spring. Then they would place me on the team off of that. My first year, I was in Kissimmee playing the rookie league. The second year, I ended up going to the New York Penn League up in New York, Auburn, New York.
Wow.
Manny Acta was my skipper. He was the skipper for the Washington Nationals his first year. When they first started, the Washington Nationals, Manny Acta was their skipper. And that was my skipper up in the New York Penn League. And I was expecting to go maybe double A or triple A, just based on, my playing experiences in college, playing basketball. talking to the GM. We went out to Arizona and played against Arizona and LaSalle in their Christmas tournament, holiday tournament. And the general manager for the Tucson Toros is the AAA affiliate out there. He's out there, Count. Everybody in the organization called me Count Basey. He's like, Count, I'm right here. I can't wait to get you out here.
Oh man, you're a fan favorite already.
I said, I can't wait to get here.
That's awesome.
They carry what, 20,000 a night?
Yeah, that's awesome.
At their AAA game?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I want to go there.
Yeah, for sure. Go where you love, where the love's at.
I want to go where the love's at. But Manny had different plans. He wanted me to help him win a championship in the New York Penn League. And I was on fire in extended spring training and was hoping to go to either Double A or Triple A, but never happened.
It's crazy. You oftentimes don't see a lot of, high major Division I basketball players playing another sport and being, equally as good. Did you think you were better at basketball or baseball? Your personal opinion. I know other people are probably going to say you were a dog at basketball.
I was better at baseball.
Okay.
But I didn't love baseball.
You didn't love baseball.
You have to love it.
Okay.
To do that every day, my wrists are killing me. And a lot of people wonder why these kids end up on steroids. It's to reach that goal.
Yeah.
And they're in pain. You're putting reps in every day, swinging that lumber every day.
Wow. That's
162
crazy.
games. You might get one day off a month. Now I see they're trying to change that a little bit, give them some more days off. But baseball's tough.
Wow.
It's real tough. And as a middle infielder, I didn't make errors.
It's crazy.
I'm used to playing with rocks on the field. I get down there, it's like this, in ground, indoor. It's clean, no bad hops, And I used to toss with my dad. He catch the ball with no glove and taught me that. You got to give, not to get that impact.
It's crazy.
And I would take ground balls, no glove.
Wow.
Donovan Mitchell's dad. We right there side by side, spring training.
Wow.
His
Donovan
dad was a
Mitchell
beast.
for the Cavaliers.
For the Cavaliers.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes, sir. Good dude.
Your college basketball career, how was it for you coming into college? Were you ready to go right away? You guys played in the Big East back then?
No, we were in Atlantic 10.
Atlantic 10, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were in Atlantic 10. I wasn't ready. When I first arrived there, in August 1990, when I first arrived there, it was 6 of us that came in at the same time. Brooklyn, New York, East Orange, New Jersey, Roselle, New Jersey. PG was at Oak Hill. Phil Wilson was in DC, and myself, West Virginia. And I wasn't where they were at. I was the youngest. All those guys went to either prep school or, were just older.
Yeah.
And they were more advanced than me. Wow. The only place I excelled over those guys was in the weight room, simply because my arms were shorter. Now I was ready for the weight room. They weren't. They were like big, long arms, and not used to throwing around free weight yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. You were a 1,000-point scorer at West Virginia. Can you talk about, being a point guard, honestly, scoring a lot of points like that, and then also having to run the show, run the team, get your guys involved? Can you talk about, the process of that, finding the balance between score, pass?
Yeah, it was tough. The system that we ran with Coach Catlett, it was a 2-guard set, and your 2 guards, you're either a point or a 2. It was interchangeable, and I still use that to this day in my system. As a point guard, you pass it and you cut through. You're coming off a double down, when they swing the ball back to the other guard, which is really the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
The off guard, the guard that passes it through is normally your 2-man. And that was Chris Leonard my first couple years there. And I would hit him coming off a double down. I already know it's good. It's like a layup. Yeah. He could shoot the lights out.
That chemistry.
Yeah. And when he graduated, Mike Boyd was the other guard, and he was the one from East Orange, New Jersey. And his shot just wouldn't, he didn't have a good shot. But teams started figuring him out. He was killing kids. 27, 29, his freshman year. He just driving to the whole 40-inch vertical jump, 6'1",
Crazy.
4.
That's unreal.
4'3", 40. Just unreal. I couldn't even get around him. I mean, what can I do? Until I learned the system. I learned the offense. Then my second unit, I was always on the second. I was on gold. And when gold started beating blue, coach was like, Basey, flip over to blue.
Oh, yeah. You earned your stripe.
Man, I just flipped over. But here's the downside to flipping over to blue. You're still not in the starting lineup.
Oh, really?
You're the 6th or 7th man on blue. So now my gold team's losing again. So I'm like, man, coach, can I go back over to the gold? Like, nah, I need you over here.
Yeah.
So
help make this team better.
Help make this team better.
Sure.
So, the 1 and the 2 situation you're talking about, how do you get that? As the point guard, I got to bring the ball up the court, but the system allowed me to be the 2-man as well. Because when I pass it off and I cut through and I come off the double down and they pop the stack, I can make the read, I can take the J. You got options.
That's a good system to have. Sometimes young kids, they really don't understand that it really doesn't matter what position you play. When you play in good systems to where the ball is going to come around to you.
It's going to move. It's just balanced.
Yeah.
It's well balanced. Everybody's going to touch the ball, especially when they're willing to learn the system.
Sure, for sure. Post college basketball career, and we can take it, beyond. You get into coaching and training. Can you talk a little bit about that? What motivated you to get into that?
Well, my stepchildren, they love the game, and I go watch their games and, see the coaches at the rec center, the volunteer coaches. And, I kind of knew the game a little better than what some of those people did. And I went on and decided to start an organization because, Dante, we had a group of kids that were coming up that really wanted to play ball. And there were several AAU organizations around just starting. And we joined one, and we went on the road with them and watched them play. And I think it was Dana Dingle I seen. We were playing against Long Island Lightning down in the D.C. area. And I ran into Dana Dingle, and they were just smashing us, destroying us. And finally, David Long, Buddha, and Jalen start getting some minutes and playing. And, they get a little scrappy and start making some buckets. And it was like, why wasn't they playing earlier? It was like,
wow.
The politics of the game can sometimes
For sure.
shun a kid and make him not even play the game anymore.
For sure.
So I decided to start an organization with West Virginia Legends and started putting those kids through the grind. We didn't travel at first. We didn't do a lot of traveling. We want to focus on our fundamentals and work ethic and stayed locally and played in tournaments, and we started getting better. And then we started to travel a little more.
I can attest to that. Being on the opposite side of the West Virginia Legends, playing against them at the Martinsburg Rec, man, there was just something different. Like, you got to the game with them, and it was just pressure, right? Like, fast pace, and you're on the sidelines, and you're coaching up the whole time, the whole time. Not in a way that not in like a malicious way to the other team, not in a talking trash way, but he was like getting his team up, let's go next play, calling out sets, and like at a young age, that's elementary, middle school, that's unheard of around here, at least.
Right.
So that's amazing. Your organization, Skills and Drills, can you talk a little bit about how was that starting it up and getting people to buy in all over the community to what you were bringing to the table?
Well, at first, it was a little struggle. People don't want to come. People don't want that type of work. But if I can't challenge you, I can't change you. A lot of people are just used to it being a cupcake, easy walk. And that's not life. Basketball and life lessons, if there's no challenge, you don't grow.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where it starts at, me challenging kids. With that being said, when you challenge kids, they either show up the next day or they don't come back. And it's sad that some kids don't want it. It's real sad, and they have it. They have the potential, they have the gift, but they just don't want it, and it blows my mind.
Did it ever make you, because of just off your resume alone and who you are as a person, as a motivator, your knowledge of the game, you could easily make your organization towards like, everyone just comes, it's a good time, everyone's working, but it's not the work that you want to do, but it gets people in. Was it tough kind of making that, standard that, we come here, we work hard. You know what I mean? And if it's not for you, it's not for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not going to take away from the kids that want to get in that grind. You know what I mean? Just to have more numbers.
No, I never got into that. I wasn't about the money. I was more about developing kids. I didn't care whether they came or not. Some people want the big money. I want the kids to work hard.
For sure.
I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I've had kids come through the program like, oh, it's just too tough for me. I can't do it. And I was like, I like your honesty. I was like, look, it's not for everybody. This program is definitely not for everybody. You got to be a kid that's willing to come in here and work hard and grind. And regardless what school you go to, I'll give you a prime example. The kid CT Caleb Thomas that's down there in Spring Mills. All the years I've been training that kid, his mom would drop him off, whether she's dropping him off at my house or Oak Street Park. This kid hops out of his mom's vehicle, with the ball in his hand, and he runs over to the court, already ready to go. I don't have to wait for him 10 minutes to put his shoes on, get out of the car with flip-flops on, and walk over. He's ready to go now.
Wow.
That's the kind of kids that you want in your program.
For sure.
And those kids that are down there excelling, it's because of that.
For sure.
And I have kids, that are Martinsburg right now. I told you about, get out with your flip-flops on and take 15 minutes to get ready. That kid got more reps in already.
For sure.
He's got more reps in already.
For sure. I played with one of your kids you had growing up, Jalen Smith, and he averaged 20 points a game 2 years I played with him. And it was an easy 20 points, but you could just tell he got to his spots, he's skilled, and he could shoot the ball. You know what I mean? And his form was really the same every single time, and that comes from his hard work.
Always good.
Working with you and just correcting mistakes or anything at a young age to where it's it's to a T. You know what I mean? And he had a great career in college.
And a lot of the sets that I was just talking about, that 2-guard set, Jalen grew up running that. And it broadens your basketball IQ. Just running. That was a set. Those sets right there with John Wooden ran and won all those national titles out there at UCLA. It's just so well balanced. It develops kids. It develops their IQ, understanding the lingo, the 2-man game, the skinny post, the popping of the stack. They hear that at an early age. They can go anywhere in the country and play.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. So training, coaching AAU has been, a big impact for kids, but for you as well, because I'm sure you've learned a lot.
I continue to learn every day.
Continue to learn every day. Just coaches can't talk to everyone the same. You can probably bark at this guy more.
I can't bark at
this guy to get the most out of him.
He's gonna shut down.
Yep.
I know he's gonna shut down.
It's not sugarcoating. It's not babying the kid. I'm a coach. I'm trying to get the best out of the kid. We have a goal. We have a mission. They're for them to get better and for us to win ball games. So I have to, attend to everybody differently. You know what I mean? To get the most out of them.
Exactly right.
That's amazing. Can you talk a little bit about, what it meant to you to win the state championship with your stepsons? Was that in 2013? 2013.
Oh, it was huge, man. It was huge. That win right there, it was like I was playing again. That's how huge it was. And those kids worked their butt off. I mean, like I told you, 3 hours during the summer. And, this didn't start their senior year. This was, in the makings. They started this 8th, 9th grade, 7th, 8th grade. They were putting that time in.
Because I'm always going to say it, the year before they had a good team as well.
Oh, yeah, we should have won that year, too.
Had a good team as well, but then
Brandon Ashenfeld
there, was Addie,
Naja, Gilmore.
And then, they graduate, and you guys come in. Jarrell comes in. He's a freshman, ready to play right away. Yep. Beat us in the 8th grade championship the year before that. It was hurt, but, I tell Jarrell every time I see him, man, I said, you got one of the best early basketball careers ever, man. To win a 8th grade championship and then to win a state championship the next year is like, I don't even know if you're ever gonna find anyone that does that. You know what I mean? So that's, it hurt on the 8th grade side, but I was at the state tournament watching you guys, my brother and I, And it was awesome just to see, for him to win it, and then that senior group to win it. And, for yourself
awesome.
as well,
It
just
was
because
awesome.
you had been to the state tournament as a player.
And never won it.
Never won it, but then, you still have impact, you know what I mean? Because I truly don't believe that they don't win that state championship without you.
Well, thanks for those props.
No, for sure. I mean,
Appreciate it.
everyone, that has eyes can see that. We talked to Vicky Bullitt last week, and she started her organization of people like you two don't even have to do what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right. I enjoy it.
Your kids,
She enjoys
your
it.
kids have came through. You know what I mean? And you're still doing it like you have something to prove. To help kids get better and to say that Coach Marsalis Basey, he's giving back, but you're doing it off of just pure love of the game. And that's amazing to me. I can't thank you enough. For working with me, my brother, a lot of our friends growing up. I mean, I know there was times in high school I didn't get much playing time at the school I was at, St. Mary Goretti. Just a tough league, tough conference. I physically wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But after, we'd have a game Sunday in Baltimore. I'd have a training session with you at the Shepherdstown Wellness Center, in the evening.
Right.
And I didn't get much playing time that game, but after a session with you, it made me feel like I had a game. You know what I mean? The way you were coaching me up during the session, I'm sweating, I'm tired. And for people that really know, training and working on your game, in my opinion, I don't know if you feel the same, it's much harder than playing in the game.
Oh, they're supposed to be.
It's much harder. It's tiring. It's rep after rep. You don't get those timeouts. It's not, the dead ball situation where you can kind of jog back on defense and everything like that. So I can't thank you enough for what you did for my confidence. And it's helped me a lot today. And I definitely, you were somebody I looked up to, growing up.
Appreciate
Us not
that.
being very close, but, coming to your sessions and
everything
you taught, you showed us. You know what I mean? It wasn't just go over there,
and do
a layup, do a behind the back, Euro step. You were out there showing us how to do it. You could have jeans on, boots, a hoodie, you know what I mean? I could have a bucket hat on or something like that. He was still out there showing us the moves, and that means everything. That you're a player coach, you know what I mean? There's coaches and there's player coaches. I feel like that separates a lot of people. And sometimes trainers, coaches, they try to, just because they played at a high level, they want to say that they're a good coach and they can train, but just because you played a certain way doesn't mean that's going to work for someone else. So it's good that because you go from post work, point guard skills, shooting, coming off screens and shooting. It's you were a small guard in college, but you worked on your game all around to where everyone can't just train or coach from one position level. You know what I mean? You have to be able to look at all areas of the game in every position. So that's amazing, man. I credit to you. I give you all the praise for that and, working hard at your craft. And you're probably still studying, like you said, you're still studying today.
All the time.
Watching basketball constantly.
Constantly.
Probably watching the girls basketball as well. You a Caitlin Clark fan?
Yes, I am. She's a killer.
She's balling.
She's
She's
killer.
balling right now.
She is.
She's playing with ultimate confidence right now. They win that championship today.
And what a lot of people don't realize, the guard work is very similar to the post work. It's the same footwork. When you rip on the perimeter, you rip in the post, it's really the same thing.
It's crazy to think about because most coaches that don't know that, they see a little taller player, throw him down there and don't get him any,
I try to give them reps everywhere.
Everywhere,
You never know when you're going to stop growing.
And you see how the evolution of the game is now. Guards are posting up.
7-footers shooting threes.
You know what I mean? 7 shooters shooting threes. Guards are posting up. One of my favorite guards has posted up a lot and has good footwork is Jalen Brunson.
Oh, yeah. I played against his dad, Rick Brunson.
Wow, that's crazy.
Temple University.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Him, Aaron McKee, Eddie Jones.
Wow.
We used to battle.
That's crazy.
They used to run that matchup zone. And we started running it back against them. Be a battle. 43-41 games because of that matchup zone. It's tough to score against.
Low scoring games. Wow.
Low scoring games.
That's crazy.
And you had Eddie Jones who played with the Miami Heat, Aaron McKee with Philly. Rick Brunson ended up getting 10 years in the league as well, bouncing around all over the place. But, you got 3 NBA guys, and heck, it was probably another one, a big man. Can't think of his name right now, but yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild. Can I ask you a serious question, though? You have this resume, and you've played everywhere, and you played against top talent, and you just named me some of my favorite players in the NBA's parents that you were around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why don't you walk around? A lot of people, they get on Facebook, social media, and they talk about my kid is this, my kid is that, and I'm this, I'm that, and posting stats and stuff like that. You've never been one to do any of that. You know what I mean? But you have, like I told Vicky, you two have, like, if anyone in the area has the right to do that, you do, because you actually did it. You know what I mean? It's not just your kids doing it. It's like you did it as well, but you never talk about it. You know, I'm finding out information that you played against this line of talent and you don't even talk about it. Maybe if someone asks you about it, you'll talk about it, but you never go around.
No, I never talk about it. I mean, if kids start asking about it, I'll tell them, you know, who's the best player you played against? And, you know, I hear that all, you know, people ask me that, and people are shocked to hear that it's Gannon Baker. Played at Duquesne University. He's world renowned right now as a trainer.
Gannon Baker. He's in Florida,
Baker.
right?
Look him up.
In Florida.
Gannon Baker. Yeah, he's the real deal.
Wow, that's crazy.
He was the real deal. And you know, my high school teammate, Spencer Ferguson, he went to UMBC, and I asked him the same question. Who's the toughest player you played against? Gannon Baker.
It's crazy. Wow.
Stop and go. Vicious. Stop
crazy.
On the dime. Create space. And he was a year younger than me.
Really?
He ended up transferring to North Carolina, Charlotte, UNC Charlotte. Yeah, but Duquesne was tough, man. He made him tough.
It's crazy. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Dante Grantham, someone very close to you, someone
he practically lived with us. He stayed with us all the time. Him and my son are like that.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, to see him go on to Clemson and do great things and go on to the NBA and get on a roster and establish that.
Because where we're from, that's hard to do.
It's rare. It's very rare. And now being overseas and playing, it's great to see that.
Did you, when you first met him and got to work with him, I know he was shorter.
He was my point guard at one time.
Did you see him going to the NBA and being at that high level?
He had that potential. He had that potential. You know, I thought all of them had that potential. You know, it just depends on your athleticism and how it grows. Him growing to that size and still having that guard set.
It's crazy.
I mean, it makes him excel.
It's crazy.
Like all those private schools were wanting him bad. They were coming in trying to grab him. He didn't want to leave his boys.
That's what's up. That's loyalty. It kind of reminds me of Anthony Davis's story. He was a smaller player growing up, so he worked on his guard skills, and he grew to 6'11", 7 foot. Now he still has those guard skills, and that's why he's one of the most versatile players in the NBA.
Exactly.
You just got to stay healthy. You know?
Yeah, it's tough to do that.
No, for sure.
Especially playing at that level.
For sure.
Yeah.
I posted something on Facebook. That's what I was getting at. I posted on something on Facebook and said, would you rather be liked versus or respected if you had to choose one?
Respected.
Respected? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, you know, number one, when I'm training a kid, I'm not there to be their friend. I'm there to get them better. And to get them better, I got to challenge them. And to go through those challenges, I got to get hard on them sometimes. And, you know, when you get hard on a kid, some kids just can't handle it. And they may not like me. And I understand that. But like I said, I'm not here to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to teach you. Your parents, number one, are paying me to give you a service. So I can't be your friend. I got to give you the service. And my service is to get you better. And to get you better, I got to challenge you.
That makes sense. Can you, so I'm gonna rapid fire. What's your favorite food?
I'm a pizza man.
Pizza?
I love pizza.
Got you. Certain topping?
I can go cheese, I can go pepperoni, I can go onion, I can go meat lovers.
Gotcha.
It just depends on how I'm feeling. If I want to be light for the day, I just go straight cheese.
Go cheese. I feel.
I do the pineapples too, the Hawaiian
he's
style.
a real pizza guy.
Yeah, I like pineapples.
What's your favorite song?
I love all music. I really don't have a favorite song, to be honest, because I like the R&B, the old school R&B. I like the hip hop. I like the old school hip hop. I like go-go. I mean, I like reggae. I like it all. Heck, I even like some country, you know. My son, Jarrell, likes
West Virginia guy. Oh, Jarrell loves that country, man. Loves it.
They all tell a story.
Definitely. It's peaceful. It's peaceful for sure. What's your favorite movie?
Man. I'm going to say Friday.
Friday?
I'm going to say
Can't
Friday.
go wrong.
The original one, the first one.
Can't go wrong there. For sure.
Yeah, it's a safe zone. I'm going to say Friday.
For sure. This is my favorite question to ask. I'm gonna be hurt if you don't choose what I think. But LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
MJ all day.
Yeah.
And LeBron's exceptional. I mean, he does a lot for the game. I mean, the way he plays the game, he shares the ball a little more than Michael did. Michael was just a dog. I mean, he took over the game. He's gonna put the team on his back and will them to the victory if he can.
Different kind of mindset.
Different kind of mindsets. LeBron's gonna use other people. LeBron's tough, man. Rightfully so, he can be said to be the best player ever. Yeah, he's got that right. He's put the long-term years in, and he's proven it. He won titles, MVPs, all-time leading scorer. But that alone can't make you the best, the greatest. It's open for debate.
For sure.
But my favorite all-time is Michael
Jordan. That's good. The fact that it's open for debate makes me feel a little better. You know what I mean? It's not just Jordan, it's not just Bron, it's open for debate. So that means a lot to the game. Yeah, I am open too. Vicky said Jordan too. Hey, Coach, we appreciate you for getting on, man.
Appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate you having me.
Keep doing what you're doing.
You do the same, man. Keep giving back.
Appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing. Get out there and demonstrate.
Appreciate it. Learn from the best. I learned, I can't, get out there and just say, do this, this, and that. Most sessions, my brother and I, he's doing windmill dunks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
after a rep of doing something, you know what I mean? Just to show the kids, like, I'm not just talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's how,
be about it.
We grew up watching you, do that stuff. And that's amazing. We appreciate you.